Welcome to For Mannerless Women. I'm your host, Adelle Onyango, and this is a space that is committed to nurturing a new generation of shame-free women who are ready to be their best selves. And this episode is going to help you figure out if you're performing or if you're being your true self. Helping us do that is political commentator, stand-up comedian, filmmaker, and writer, Justine Wanda. I am so excited to have you, Justine, on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I think it's so important for you and I to have this conversation because we've hung out in quotes at events because it's not like a one-on-one thing. I always walk away from conversations with you or from your tweets or from your satire shows and the show you co-host. At Africa Uncensored, right?
Yes.
I always walk away having learned something. And so I just wanted to have you on the show for the longest time.
Thank you so much. Just before we go on, I just want to say I think I'm one of your biggest fans.
Oh my goodness.
I think when you launched Legally Clueless, I probably was the first person to subscribe. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I was just confused, like, where can I get this?
Yeah.
And then I roped in people in my circle to like watch and engage with your work.
Yeah.
And I must say, I am very proud that I did that.
Yes, thank you.
Even before meeting you in person. Yeah.
I didn't even know what a podcast was either. Now I do.
Yeah.
Then I was just like, SoundCloud?
But
exactly.
you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah.
And we're here. So you are incredible because first and foremost, you're in a space that is very male dominated, that is growing in Kenya, which is comedy. And I don't know how you guys do it. Like, I just look at you people like, you are gods. Because getting on stage to do that is hectic. Yeah. Take me to the beginning of comedy. Like, where did it start off for you? How was it a tool or how did you fall in love with it?
So professionally or just like personally?
Just personally.
Ever since I think I was a kid, I was just kind of a clown. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew like if people are happy, they're not thinking so much about like the conversation that is being had. And I grew up with a lot of, I had like 4 brothers.
Okay.
I call them brothers.
Yeah.
I'll give the detail later, but like I had 4 brothers. And a lot of them like to joke around, and I also wanted to just be in the same space as them.
Yeah.
And when you grow up with brothers, like they're not fair, they don't play fair.
Yeah.
Everyone is kind of mean, so you have to either push back as much or not be willing to cry. I use those words very measurably because I think that's what made me feel like I could be one of them. I won't say that's how I began comedy, but like every time I had like some time to watch TV, most of the things I was drawn to were either comedic or like had some kind of performance that would make me laugh. I love Vitimbi very much.
Oh my God.
Shout out to that particular show.
Yes. And Vioja Mahakamani.
Yes, like every single classic Kenyan TV had a lot of comedy in it. I didn't know it was like a cultural thing, but like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think I also used to watch Friends. I didn't understand what was going on because I was like, I'm not from New York. I don't know what is going on over there, but this seems like really funny that adults would be struggling this much. And then there used to be like an Arabic show that I used to watch. I don't remember the name of it, but it was really funny. It was more slapstick because I don't understand the language, but it's like really funny to see people get through their lives, but like in a very physical way, but was really funny. I loved Mr. Bean. And I think all these things, because they excited me, I used to like write a lot. Like, how do I write comedy? I had zero perspective. I didn't even know that was a thing. And also Reader's Digest had a column. I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember because I used to read Reader's Digest a lot because my mom would like buy them.
Yes.
And they had jokes,
yes,
right?
They did have jokes. So I used to read that, but I don't remember what the name of the column is. Oh, I'm so sorry to the readers. But
at least you remember.
Yes. But I used to read them every time and I'm like, this is really good. I want to write something like this. So I tried to mimic that. And I would try to do that in my compositions in school.
Wow.
I would try and do that like in my free time. I would try to like make jokes with my brothers. Then sometimes they didn't understand what I was doing. They're like, why are you speaking like that? You're not some white lady. Like I'm like, no, this is very important to me.
I'm in character. Okay.
Yes. So I fully, the amount of time that I spent getting into comedy on a personal level was a lot. And I don't think about it that much at that time. It's because I was just trying to get by because of the environment that I was in.
That is so powerful because there's like so much intentionality, but at the time you don't, it's just curiosity, isn't it?
It
like
is.
It's not, this is how to become a good comedian.
Exactly.
Like, I like this joke, man.
Exactly. Like if it made me laugh then I can mimic it or like I can write something just as good.
Yeah.
But I don't have the grasp of the language and the magnitude and all the things that it takes to actually write good comedy.
Yeah.
But I think it just like, because it entertained me and I was laughing, I felt like I could make other people laugh. And so I would try and like practice that in my personal life with my brothers, in school. I did too much in school. I was like a proper noisemaker.
No, Justine, I can't see it.
Okay.
Like a problematic kid, like disruptive actually.
Yes, but to a point. Like not where people can't learn, but enough where I just like make you very annoyed, especially if you're a person in authority. Yeah. So my teachers did not like me because I was good in school, but I was also like a terrible student. Like you're not the student who's quiet, you're not the student who's listening. And some teachers were understanding of my personality, but like some teachers were not they were like old school. It's like you have to sit upright, you're a girl, you should be like this. And I wasn't like one of those people. So there's a time where my personality kind of flipped. Because I felt like I was a little too disruptive and I didn't want to get into more trouble. So I kind of withdrew into myself. And that came from a lot of like personal things, but also it's because I just didn't want to always cause trouble. Yeah.
Do you know the thing is, I hate that happens. This was a school in Kenya.
Yes.
I hate that happens a lot in our education system. So like a lot of personalities are killed just because the education system wants you to be one way. And I'm not blaming the teachers. I'm really blaming the system and the people who create the system as is. Yeah. Because a teacher who has like 60 students in one class,
it's too many kids,
just wants all of you to move in one way just so that I can, you know what I mean? It's just not efficient, even what they're given, right? So I hate that happened to you.
It's okay.
You mentioned something, the clown, and this is... it's something that I learned in therapy about the different roles kids take or personalities they adapt when they're going through challenging times in childhood. So you have maybe a child becoming the golden child and wanting to like always win the awards and always do ABCD. You have the scapegoat who's probably lashing out and then all of the issues are blamed on them. But they're really... it's not them they're reacting, right? And then they have the clown, which was me, where you're trying to keep everybody laughing and happy, and you become very good at noticing emotional changes and just being like, oh, this person is mad. There was like a dip in their voice. Yes. Time for a joke. Exactly. So tell me about if you identify with that part of being the clown, and what were you experiencing in childhood that maybe made you use comedy as a tool to like shield or like mask?
Okay, so how do I start this out before I start crying?
Oh my God.
So I am adopted. I'm adopted. And when you grow up in a home that is essentially not like your birth parents, you can feel the vibe. Even if no one tells you, you can just feel the vibe. And I was adopted at 4. So my parents died when I was 4. I was adopted by relatives, and they were really good people. But also there's just like a very stark difference in how you navigate the world and how the people you're with navigate the world. There's a sense of just like being at home. There's a sense of being proud of where you're from. The sense of just belonging that I felt completely disconnected to, because I did feel like a foreigner first, because we were adopted, me and my sister, and my sister was a little older than me, and she had experienced my parents' love and affection. I was just getting into it, and then it disappeared. And so I didn't have context, I'll say, for what it feels like to be treated within your home, but I just had the sense that this was not it, but I could never tell what it is exactly. So in the space that I grew up in, I was trying not to be a problem. I was trying to make myself as invisible as possible, trying not to cause any problem. But I'm also like my sister used to tell me, like, when my parents were alive, I was very outspoken. I used to like perform things in front of the family. I would like recite commercials that they were watching on TV. And then now when we were adopted, I felt like my personality shifted because the space I was in was no longer the same, and I had to adapt. And it wasn't terrifying, but it's just like you don't want to be the person who is constantly causing trouble, but also how do you do that while still being yourself? Like, you don't have those definitive terms as a kid, but that's what was going on. So I felt like if I was a clown, but it was also the other things where I was disruptive, but just like up to a point. It was like I'd say something or I'd like do something, I'd go play out longer than than they wanted me to. I would probably like do some things that they didn't approve of. And the clash was always, how do I not disrupt too much because of the way that I am? So there's parts of myself that I had to unfortunately chop down so that I don't become a problem child. I didn't want them to feel like that, because I was very grateful, but I was also like very aware of what was going on. So I became a clown mostly in school, which was away from them, where they couldn't see me. I could be chaotic over there. Then when I come home, I could be silent.
Code switch.
Yeah, it was code switching personalities. And I was like very terrified of them knowing who I really was, because then maybe that would feel like the person they're raising is not me. So I was not pretending, but I kind of was pretending a lot, like you not to be a bad kid. I was trying to navigate it as much as I could. And I think when I was hanging out with my brothers, my adoptive brothers, I was chaotic because they were boys. It wasn't frowned upon when they did it. But like when my adoptive parents would walk in, I had to be a girl. I had to like kind of fall in line. But sometimes it didn't work out, because like you could just see it. You could just see that I am properly, they were raising like a 5th boy. Like there was just another, like I was
trying so hard.
I was trying so hard to be like everywhere. And I think that informed how I navigated that particular space. And I lived with them until I was 14. And then when I went to high school, my brothers were, they had jobs now, so my brothers took me in. And then with my brothers, I could be who I actually wanted to be. I don't know if that's who I was, but like I felt more free. My brothers didn't care what I was doing. I think they also let me go a little too much. Like they were not parents. They were just like, I hope you're alive and you're fed.
Just come back home. Is she still here?
But like the funniest part is because of the way I grew up, I was not an outside child. I spent most of my time watching TV, trying to write TV, trying to I was literally trying to be a good kid, but also a terrible kid, but within the environment in which I was. And when I would go to school, because I went to boarding school in high school, and that was a very strange time.
I think when you say the word strange, maybe we need to qualify this by say a Kenyan.
Yes, I went to a Kenyan boarding school. Yes.
Now we understand. When you say strange, okay. So how was that?
When I went to boarding school, I was like, okay, here I can be myself. My brothers have let me go. They have no problem with me. They're just like, you have to be respectful and school is not the way you are with us. And my older brother is a teacher, and he was like a little bit on you have to respect your teachers kind of thing, because he knows the struggle. And I was like, okay, for him I will do this. But I don't think I was a good kid. In Form 1 I tried to be less disruptive. I used to cry all the time because I think I was bullied a little bit. I was bullied a little bit by one of my classmates. I don't know if I can say her name, but she knows herself. So she bullied me, I think, in first term. And then in second term, I think I just had to shift my personality to survive. Yeah. And I think I became a rapper. I did so many random things.
Is there anything recorded somewhere?
No. It's good that none of it was recorded. But ironically, my first single was recorded by me and two of my friends. It was called Superstar because absolutely
adorable.
Yeah, we were just we want to write a song that makes you feel good. It was inspired by Missy Elliott. It was a disaster. It was one of the funniest things I've ever written. Yeah. And I was proud of it because I think I can trace that moment to me becoming myself, because I felt like if I can perform this, and I performed that song in front of the whole school. Yeah. During some talent show. I don't remember what it was, but we did perform it. We were wearing some ugly clothes.
Was it baggy?
It was baggy. It was baggy, but it was fun. Yeah. And I think that entire moment was kind of a release, because the good thing with boarding school is the only other people watching you are students and maybe that one teacher who is just mean for no reason. But most people are kind of rooting for you, curious,
because they're navigating the same thing, right?
So I felt very free when I was in school, and I also felt very free when I was at home. So my personality was kind of coming together. But I was not who I said I was to most people. I was still hiding. I was just if I perform all this rap and if I do all these jokes, because I used to get on top of tables in the dining hall and make jokes and
impromptu stand-up.
Yes. I don't think I was 100% sane. I was literally doing everything, and maybe it had something to do with just me wanting attention and wanting to be seen. But also at the same time deflecting a lot of what was going on in my life, because I was not like most of the other kids in school. Even during visiting days, because I went to school in Eldoret. And my brother, I remember the entire time I was in school, I think my brother and my sister and my brother-in-law came a total of 4 times. For all the 4 years I was there, I think I used to get 1 visiting a year. And a school year has 3 terms. It's too many teachers, too many students, but I would never see people at home. And I understood my situation very clearly. I did understand it, but I just felt there has to be more. More people should be caring about my existence. But if I can't get that, maybe if I just do all this clownery, it's going to help me get through the emotions that I'm feeling. So I did a lot of chaotic things in high school, because people who remember me from high school remember me as a noisemaker, as a person who did not listen. There's a time I was a prefect, and I was one of the worst prefects in the history.
Were you letting everyone get away with this?
Because I was we're not criminals. Yeah. Most people are just like me. I understood it from the context of someone who's making the problems. And my class teacher was also, he was kind of a strict person. Yeah. But he wasn't also too clear on where he wanted to stand. He wanted to be a friend to the students, but also he wanted to be a strict teacher, and that really helped my prefect career because he didn't know what to do.
Play on this other part.
Yeah. So it really helped me. And then over the course of the 4 years, I feel like a whole bunch of what I was doing was mostly just a performance. I don't know who I was. I didn't know how to feel safe with people. I didn't know how to tell people what was going on with me. We did have a guidance and counselor in school, but she was also a gossip. Like, you would tell her something, and then she would go into another classroom and tell other students that there's this girl in Form 4 West who's like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't think I want to go to that lady because she's going to...
It's not your story being told. You're just like, so when is mine?
Exactly. So
gotta be shared.
You know, there's a person who can help you, but I don't think this is the situation that would help you. So I was very aware that there's no safety in that way. And I just mostly did a lot of foolish things, a lot of fun things, and tried not to get in as much trouble that would get me sent home or anything, but enough just that would entertain people, and that was good for me. Yeah.
You have such an incredible way of kind of you're above watching yourself now, and you're like, this is what was happening, and this is probably why I was doing it. Not many people can do that for any points of their life, even currently. And so that's incredible that you have that ability to see. I'm wondering, because there's something very powerful you've said to me once, which is shame can make your entire existence a performance. So the performance that's happening at this point in your life, is there shame that is driving it?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think I thought of it as shame in the beginning. I just thought it was maybe if I just do this, people won't have to ask me anything about myself. The reason I was crying so much in Form 1 was because the girl who used to bully me she had something that I feel like I hadn't figured out. She was very entitled. She was very confident. She was just... she could just be, and then she could just talk to me the way she felt. And I was like, why am I not like that? And I think a lot of it stemmed from, how she was raised, because I don't think I had the confidence to speak up if it was not joking around. I felt if I'm making a joke, that's when I'm most comfortable. But if it was just speaking about myself, I couldn't do it. And for me, it was because I was adopted. The reason I felt very weird during the 4 years in school is because when we had visiting days, people's parents used to come, people's relatives, anyone in your family is coming. I think I remember the first visiting day in school. I remember this girl. I think I felt like it was the entire village that was there. Yeah. And I was like, this is so awesome. People in your family can come through for you on this day, and they're eating and they're laughing and they're having such a good time. And the only way I saw them is because I went to unhang my clothes from them.
You're like, what's happening over there?
Yeah. And I felt like that's the first time I'd ever seen people that joyful on just a random day. And I think I felt some type of way about it. It's like, I know no one is coming because they told me in advance. I know I'm going to spend most of this day watching TV or trying to figure out what is going on with me without having to let that emotion kind of put me down. And over time, it just solidifies into something else. Yeah. Where I know the lack of people being in my life like that is harming me some way. I don't know the words for it then, but that's the feeling I was navigating. It was very difficult. And whenever anyone would ask me, so why is no one coming to see you? And I'm like, I would just add a joke over it. It's like, have you ever had to work on a Saturday? I was just saying random things, but I'm not saying that this is what's going on. There's only 2 people, my best friends in high school, there are only 2 people I actually told. And then usually when you're telling your friend something, there's someone who's overhearing, so people are like, oh, that one is an orphan. So it's like so there's almost a discomfort in people knowing such a personal detail about you, especially if you don't want to share it, and you can tell in how they treat you, because some people knew this information. They would leave food in my room.
And you're just like, they didn't.
No, it's kind, but also like, no, leave me alone. Like, I'd rather you invite me, like, we eat together, but then I understand it's like someone is leaving you food because they don't want you to feel bad, but also it just makes you end up feeling bad because you know exactly what that is. And it was a very, very hard thing. I didn't tell people who I was. I didn't want them to know who I am, who I was struggling, what I was struggling with, who I wanted to be, what I didn't want any of those emotions to come out because I felt like the moment I say them, they won't think of me as funny anymore. Like, they will know my truth. So most of my high school life was a performance. Even in uni, a little bit of my uni life was a performance. But then I realized those people don't care because they're trying to become adults.
And it's stressful.
Yes, and life is working. And if I told them,
they're just like sour.
Yes, like I felt like they were more of a community and we could laugh and we could talk. And then I realized it's not just me. There's people who've been through very difficult moments in their life and they're navigating them. And I had friends who had parents and they didn't have really good relationships with their parents. I had friends who were paying their own school fees and it was like, but your parents are here, what's going on? And in my head, it's like starting to click that not just because people don't share the exact same story as you doesn't mean they're not going through things.
Yeah, they have their own story that has those chapters, right?
Yeah. And then that's when I think parts of my performance around like not wanting people to know who I am, that kind of started breaking. I started feeling more aware that I am. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
It's a thing.
Yes.
But everybody has their thing.
Yes.
Right? It's not only me holding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt more comfortable. I felt like I could tell people so openly who I was and they were not judging me. They were not sitting down, analyzing and like saying, oh, I'll leave you this food.
In your hostel.
Yeah. It's so weird that it got to a point where I started looking back and like through my high school life and I was like, maybe if I was more honest about what I was living through, maybe people would have been more understanding, but I didn't have context.
And you didn't have the terminology even for the emotions. So even if you look back and you're like, I wish I could have been more honest, but did you have the words to say this is what I'm feeling? And also the person leaving you the food doesn't have the words. So they're using that, right? So it just is what it is.
Yeah. But they did feed me and I loved it. And it was really good food. And I never got food poisoning, which means you guys really cared about me.
You took time.
Yes. So I'm like very grateful. Like every single one of those people was building community around me that even when they didn't understand it, they were trying to shield me from something that I was dealing with. That was I felt very shameful about I just knew that I didn't have the same background as everyone else, but they were also saying in their own little way that you don't have the same background, but like you're no different from us.
That's really powerful. And it's a nice hug.
It really is. It really is. Shout out to every single one of those people. I think one of the people that I really, really remember who did this for me, apart from my friends, was a girl named Liz Masharia. We were not friends in For Man. I just felt like she was too above everyone else. But like she was just really a kind person. I think she was an introvert and I had never met someone who just kept to themselves. So even I had like my own theories about who she was, but she was like a really kind person.
We do that a lot, isn't it? It's like we round off people to what we can understand, but not invite them to participate in our understanding of them. It's just like, she keeps us how she must be.
Absolutely.
We do that a lot. So we'll come back to identity, which I think we should touch on. But how do we go from that and the shame around it, obviously uni, everybody's just like trying to figure out how we're now the adults and we have to manage our own time and do all of these things. But how do we go from that to on stage? There's no shame. Like you talk about being adopted sometimes in your stand-up comedy. So that's a huge shift, right? Because now it's like you're doing a new version of comedy. In high school, you were on top of the tables, but you weren't really saying it. So what happens? Do you just shed the shame or?
Maybe I did over time because of being around people who allowed me to be myself without making it a thing. They would listen and then we would just kind of move or navigate that space without making it, oh, you know, Justine, this is how your life is. Like there was never that. So over time, it felt like those weights that I carried about myself, all these little indignities that I'd like pin-boarded in my life didn't exist. But also it's things that I had to see for myself reflected back to me, where people just want to mirror the kind of friendship you have with them. They want to mirror the kind of community you're building with them. So it's kind of, over time, it chipped away at the feelings that I had to a point where, so because of all the ridiculous things I've done in my life, I thought like going on stage is not a thing that I should be afraid of. But also I really loved performing. When I was in primary school, I used to sing all the time. I used to be like in those drama festival things. I used to do so many random things. I was a rapper. I did so many things. And I think even when I was doing them out of context of who I was, I think I was just building like a random confidence in myself, because I felt if I was not going to get it from somewhere, people boosting me to become the person that I'm going to do it for myself. And that just translated to the stage where all the years of building that, maybe in the back of my mind subconsciously, I felt very comfortable. That's the place I felt stage. Most comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah. And getting up there, holding a microphone and having people listen to your like stuff that you wrote down and you're like, I hope this is funny and I hope it translates, and having people laugh, that I think that was the world just mirroring back to me that you're okay. You can do this. And the shame that I carried about myself was never in any way burdened on me again, because I had, in a weird way, worked through my feelings over the years enough for me to be comfortable with telling that story. And there are people who shamed me, not shamed me, but there are people who tried to be like, Justine, you can't always be talking about being an orphan. And I'm like, no, it's my story. I want to share it. And those people I had to cut out of my life.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean I can't share my story?
Those are weird people where my truth makes you uncomfortable. It means there's unresolved issues on your end. It's not a me thing.
Yes.
You need a timeout to go and figure out what's happening with you, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You're so incredibly insightful. And like, and I don't even think insightful is the word, but like you have this way of just detangling things and being like, oh, this is why this is happening in a very calm way. Like, it's not a crisis. You're reacting like this because of that. And I'm so happy that, you know, you share your art with us on stage. I want to come back to identity because when we talk around like adoption and I'm an orphan and I just didn't I think
solidarity.
It's like a club.
It's a club.
I think it was through the podcast, like Legally Clueless, that I actually said the word. I didn't know that it was a word for adults. Until I was like, oh, hang on. That's right, guys. My dad died. I think my dad died when I was 17. I'm not too sure how old I was, but it was in 2007. And then my mom died when I was 23. And navigating grieving my mom, I never thought of being an orphan. I think grief is so heavy, you're just swimming. You're trying not to drown. There's no time for terms. But in one of the episodes of our podcast, Legally Clueless, is when I was like, hang on, I'm that thing. And I kind of was like, is there a different term for like adults? Because when you think orphans, we always think child,
the little ones.
And we're trying to figure out school fees, and we're trying to figure out the material things that parents normally provide.
Yes.
And in navigating those feelings, I was like, oh, there's a whole other chapter of like emotional things. There's a whole other chapter of emotional things you need as an adult that you normally go to a parent to get. That now it's like, oh wait, so like
the silence.
It's just like, so what do I do? How do you figure out identity? Because a lot of our identity is tethered to, even culturally, like your parents. Even when you talk about family, we're really drawing a line to like parents. Even siblings comes afterwards, right?
Yeah.
So how have you figured out who Justine is and navigated that part?
I think the best way to describe my own identity is it's a clown show, because I drew my identity from random people before I knew even like how lineage works. Because where I come from, it's very patriarchal. It's like your dad gives you your name and like your heritage, and then you carry that through when you get married or whatever. You then maybe can switch identities or something. And I didn't have the privilege of that. I'll say I want to talk briefly about my adoptive parents, because they were incredible people. My adoptive dad was one of the greatest people I've ever met. He was, I feel like who I am fully comes from him and how he navigated the world, or like at least how I saw it. I'm not saying he was a perfect human being, but like if we could come close, I think he's one of those people. And he raised me to be kind. He raised me to be aware of like where I am and like treating people well. Not because he was like, this is what you should do. It's because like what I saw him do is, I was like, if I could just get slightly as close to this, I think I would have done the best in my life. And I think that's a part of my identity that is very important to me. So it's not stemming from the name, it's stemming from the person that I saw. I want to talk about my adoptive mom a little bit. So
I feel like every human understands. So like,
So for her, it was, we have for lack of a better word, a very difficult relationship. And without giving too much away, because I'm still figuring that out, is she informed a part of me, like a lot of my performance, the shame that I carried was because I really, really wanted a mom to be happy with me, to be proud of me, to be like, that's my daughter. Those words were not forthcoming. And I was like, I have to resolve whatever this is I have going on. This
performance needs to end.
Yes. I was like, okay. I know she cares, but also I know I'm never going to have the relationship I was hoping to have, and I have to let that go. And my identity cannot be tied to who I think she wants me to be. And the moment I started detaching myself from the kinds of requirements I had set for myself about a person whose life I was not like living, I started to feel like, okay, there's parts of her that I carry with me. Sometimes I'm very strict. The way the way I wash dishes is 100% her. I am not even joking.
That is such a unique thing.
Because she's one of those people who was like, you have to, when you get into this kitchen, every single thing has to be done in this way. It's like you have to separate this from this. You have to scrub if it's asufure, it has to be glistening. If the sink has to look a certain, like I can tell you 100% it's her.
Then you leave the cloth.
Yes, exactly. It's such a her thing. And also, it's even the way, okay, she didn't cook a lot. And I think that liberated me.
Yeah.
I do not cook. I'm like, if I'll die hungry today, I'm fine. And I think that's also her. There's parts of her that I carry with me because the people who raise you have like such an impact in your life, and sometimes you don't even realize it. And I think there are parts of her that are me and I'm okay with it. And then there are parts of her I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. And I'm okay with that. And then now when I go to my siblings, my older brother is kind of like my uncle. They're kind of like the same person reincarnated. They just have like this charm about them. They love people. They're very kind. They're very generous. They have their own things that they struggle with, but they also like try not to like take that and throw it on the people in their lives. And I'm like, okay, this is like a kind of good way to live, and I want to emulate parts of that. And my siblings, we are working on our collective relationship, because being adopted and growing up everywhere, like all the time, and trying to rework your way back into the family that could have been, it's hard. But I see the way they love their kids and the way they show up in the world, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can figure out how to be the same way. So I'll say, again, my identity is kind of a clown show, because I'm very aware that this is a circus. Everyone is struggling with something. I love that. Everyone is struggling with something, but also they're trying so much to show up the way they know they should be. And that counts for a lot, because some people just give up and hurt other people and are miserable, and like maybe carry that to the people in their lives and their own kids. And I feel like my siblings don't do that. And then I'll add my friends there, because my friends also just their ability to sit with me in silence, in my nonsense, in my lowest moments, in my highest moments, in them encouraging me to be, oh, Justine, you want to, like, I remember even when I was starting Fake Walk with Justine, the first episode was filmed wrongly. I was like, the camera was in landscape and I uploaded it in portrait. And they still watch that episode.
Like, this is great.
Yes.
Keep going.
And they lied to my face, not because they lied, but because they were like, we see what you're doing. It wasn't like a lie. They were like, we know you get there.
Yeah.
You love this thing so much. You're so passionate about the things you want to talk about. So we do trust that it's going to come together. Yeah. And when I was starting it, and I was like, oh, should I really name this show Fake Walk? Is it African enough? And I was like, they were like, what do you mean? It's your show. You can name it what you want.
And you're African.
Yes.
You're African enough.
Yes.
You.
Yes. They're like, we approve of this. We love you. We support you. Whatever you need. It was not financial, because we're all broke at that time.
But we're here.
Yes. It was the pom-poms and the cheering from the back that really helped me. So my identity is in a way defined in there. You want to see other people win. You want to be able to show up for other people even when you don't fully understand what it is they're building, what it is they're doing, but you don't want to be the person who's like whispering the give ups and the really horrible things in someone's ear. And that really, so I'm a, what are they called? I don't know what those things that collect. Like I collect a little bit of my identity from all these different people in my life. And I try to reinforce that for myself, because you cannot build your identity outside of yourself. You have to kind of define what you want for yourself. And that stuff is hard. Yeah. You will get lost. Yeah. You will be disappointed. You will be very happy. But the idea that it's not just one thing really helps me feel grounded. It helps me feel joyful even, like, because I'm okay with what I built, and I'm okay with who I'm becoming. Yeah,
that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful, and it's true, because like in building your identity, even in the collecting and being inspired by the people around you, that's still difficult, right? Because there's an awareness that has to happen before for you to be like, oh, I love how this person does this. Like. Yeah. That's a trait I would want to emulate, right? Yes. This is a purely selfish question. And I love that we're having this conversation, because I think it reinforces many things. One being that women of different age groups can learn from each other.
Yeah.
You're younger than me, Justine, but you teach me so much. And I think we navigate as women, we navigate life thinking that learning or connections can only happen like from previous generations down, right? Or that even friendships should be within generations.
Yes.
And I think there's so much to learn from each other. So it's a very selfish question. How do you navigate, or do you face anxiety around this at certain points? Because as a member of the Orphan Club, strong, there are moments I didn't realize before it was anxiety that I was navigating, but now in hindsight, I was like, it definitely was. Yeah. So things like birthdays. Those were very important in my household from when I was young, right? So my dad and I, he's born on the 4th of February, I'm on the 5th. So if we had 2 cakes, I would cut his and cut mine. Yes. If we're buying sweets, I'd buy 1 packet for him and end up eating them. But I'm like, it's great to have this birthday, right? Even after my mom and dad divorced, you know, like, and even at my big age, like a birthday there was flowers at home, there was cake, there was gifts, it was a big deal. And after getting into the Orphan Club, I like saying it like that, right? I started controlling to the point of like birthdays. I would send people like these are the gifts I want. Like I'm now trying to piece together and recreate this thing because I'm anxious about doing it without. So I'm going to control so that none of you, the script. Same with like things like Christmas. So there's always anxiety around those things for me because socially they come with ingredients that I don't have, which is parents. Are there moments where you have that anxiety as well? And like, how do you navigate that? Even when there's love, because I feel like sometimes when people say that you have great friends or you have a great partner or they think all of a sudden that whitewashes this other part. But I don't think it does.
I do have anxiety. I'll say the first birthday I remember celebrating, I was turning 16. I was in high school. And it's because one of my classmates had found out my birthday and they were like, oh, Justine, your birthday is next week. And then they did like a surprise thing in the, I don't remember if it was a Saturday. So my best friend lied to me, was like, let's just go to class. We need to study today. And I'm like, I don't study on any given day. Why would I be studying on a Saturday? It's like, no, we have exams coming up. She's like trying to be strict. So I was like, okay, we'll go. And then I get there and they bought me cake and it was so nice.
That's so adorable.
It's the first time I'd ever celebrated my birthday. I don't remember if I cried, but I do remember feeling this overwhelming feeling of being seen and loved and cared for. And that's the first time I actually do remember my birthday being a thing. When I was a kid, it wasn't that my birthday wasn't celebrated. Like no one in that particular family celebrated their birthdays. But I think maybe having conversations with one of my brothers, one of my adopted brothers, like there were celebrations, but like I think I was just not part of them. And maybe I was part of one when like we were really young kids, but I can barely remember it. So I just grew up thinking it's just one of those things. Even my actual birthday, I just knew it when I was like going to high school. I was like, I knew I was born someday, but it wasn't like a thing. So when like growing older, you realize that these moments are such a big deal for a lot of people. And I think for my sister, she used to celebrate it with her husband and boyfriend at the time. And it was a big deal for them, but I just didn't understand most of it. I was like, why is everyone celebrating things so much? But the one that really, really, really gets me is Christmas. those are big deals for every single Kenyan, I think.
Yeah.
People love like the family and the get-togethers and the shags and the travels and the cousins and all the things. Yeah. And I grew up with all those things. I grew up with all those things until I was 14. When I was 14, when I moved in with my brothers did love Christmas, but they were not like big deal Christmases. It was like, okay, maybe we'll go out, maybe we'll have like a family lunch. Because of like the work they had, and one of my brothers had to travel a lot, and like I think they had young kids, so it's kind of like everyone is just kind of navigating. And like remember, we didn't grow up together, so it's not like no one feels obligated. But like if we celebrate, fine. If we don't celebrate, it's fine. So I think when I went to uni, and around that time, everyone, even my friends, would just kind of disappear.
Yeah, they've got shags.
Yeah, and I'm like, where is everyone going? Because like technically, I don't have a shags. So I would like go spend my Christmases with my sister. She was living in Mombasa at the time. I love the beach. I would go to the beach on Christmas. And even if it's not like a huge celebration, there was always family. Her kids are there. We're having fun. It's a good time. But now, when all those situations that kind of force you to be with people ended, Christmas would like draw close, and I'm like, I am alone. I'm going to be alone. Like I think the past Christmas I spent alone. I don't remember where I went, but I do remember I just had a meal by myself. I watched a movie, and I slept. And one of my sister's kids, I have like a lot of siblings. There's 9 of us. We did lose one sister.
Sorry.
So there's 8 of us. And my older sister is like, her kids are like older. So they call me. And they're like, "Hey, aren't you happy?" I'm like, "Sinmelala." They're like, "No, you should come." Like he was very intentional about like inviting me out and just like spending some time. And so I spent that Christmas with my nephew. We went like the day after Christmas because it's his birthday also. And I think he was just trying to get someone to buy him something. And I was like, this is a smart way to celebrate your birthday. Just call it Christmas. So we went, I think we went to a mall. We just like spent the day hanging out and laughing and everything. And then the year after that, I think I spent my Christmas alone. But that year I called everyone. I called people. I was like, Merry Christmas and all these things. And then the year after that, I spent it with my friend and her mom. And my best friend's mom is one of the best people. She's so kind and she's so loving. And she bought us lunch. I think she bought us chicken curry. And we were feasting. And like I was just like, this is so nice. Like, and for her, there's just I think it's just her and her mom. And like they're very close in like a very nice, like they have that kind of mom-daughter relationship that's so cute. And I was like, this is so nice to just be part of it. But I didn't feel othered. You know, like when you're with other people and you're like standing at the back and the stories are flying over your head. And they're like having like some conversation about their lives that you have no idea about. And I didn't feel that way. And I've spent a couple of Christmases with them, I think 3 now. Like sometimes she would travel and like before she gets to Shag, she'll like come visit us and like we'll spend the Christmas together. We either go out or like we spend time indoors, we watch a movie. Sometimes we just like put Citizen TV when she's like watching a soap and then we laugh at her. And like she really, like it's very loving and I don't think about it as like I'm spending Christmas with another person's family. It's just like I've been adopted into this one. And then there's Christmases where I spent alone and I am very anxious every year, I won't lie. It doesn't go away. I'm very aware that my life is not the same as other people. I'm very aware that there's a very big disconnect about how people enjoy and celebrate big moments versus how I see them. As long as like I've had a good day, I'm good. As long as I'm not crying, nothing bad. I'm not broke. I think I'm very. I think that just comes.
There's food here.
There's food. I can go watch a movie. I can go like if I can do something or like even just stay indoors. I'm very anxious that because usually my the Christmas season is like a pre-season before my mom's anniversary, so it's usually like a very weird time
emotionally, right?
Yes, I'm like all over the place and I'm very aware of it, so I'm not sometimes I don't feel like celebrating because I just know like in a week I'm going to be very sad or overwhelmed. I think there's only 1 year where I didn't feel bad.
Really?
Just 1 year.
What was different about that year?
I don't know, but I just didn't feel bad. I didn't feel like my mom's anniversary is coming up and I just feel like this year has gone very badly, or like I wasn't thinking about all those things. I was like, I'm okay with what happened this year. I don't remember when it was, probably like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's the first time I didn't feel overwhelmed by my emotions. And I tried to recreate that feeling.
What did I do?
I tried to recreate that feeling when it's not. Life requires you to be very present. So when it comes to very big holidays, I am aware of my dad's anniversary, which is around the time my sister celebrates her birthday, which is a very difficult moment for her because I think she's more emotional than me. She like things get really dark really fast. So I use my clownish nature to like make her not feel so bad. And I think also like her kids kind of help because like they're with her all the time. So she doesn't feel as heavy. But I make sure that around that time I call her or like I text her like something nice. But I don't think it ends. I am very aware that the way I'm navigating these moments, the way I'm living through them, it's not the same. Even sometimes when I'm really, really happy, there's just like something in the back of my mind that's like, there's something missing, or maybe this could be different if maybe my best friend was spending time with my mom too. Like, why couldn't I have that? And then you go into the orphan spiral.
Yes. I have this thought which is just so terrible. Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying it out loud. But when I see wicked people living long, I'm just like, this one is still here. 70-something, 60-something, and good people. Yes. And I'm just like, it's unfair. Yeah. What are you talking about?
I think there's a thing that I had when I was younger, or I don't remember where I had it, but like wicked people live longer because the universe is giving them time to course correct. But like good people, but good people, you've already done good things. So it's like
time's up.
It's like, why are you doing shit? So try and be wicked kidogo so that you live longer.
Get a balance.
Yes.
A balance.
Just like a little bit, a dash of wickedness just to get there.
But that makes sense because I think you can't predict. What I've learned is like you can't predict the feelings that will come. Like I take myself very slow on Christmases and I'm trying to smell the things I like. Yes. I love the pomp and the decorations. Like my Christmas decorations stay up the whole year because I love Christmas. Yeah. But I kind of try to smell my emotions, like, where are we? December 13th. Yeah. Are we still?
I love that you do that.
20th. Yeah. Babes, are you still okay? Because it's just like, there's so much that's tethered to, especially my mom, that I'm just like, anything could be a trigger. Yes. You could come online and people are like, shags with my mom. And you're like, well.
Yes, those things. I think that is, to your point, I think I don't go online a lot during that time. Because it's not that people are being insensitive. It's because they're having a good time.
They're really enjoying their moments.
I think I remember one of the triggers I ever got was like someone posted, I think they were having like a really fun celebration with their dad or something. So I think they went to like a liquor store and they came back and then they were like beating stories, like proper stories. And I was like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling because I remember Christmas where my uncle was very drunk. My adopted dad was very drunk. And he was, I don't know what he was telling us, but it was really funny for like a person who's 11, 10. It was really funny. And I remember it vividly. I remember the emotion of it. I remember the feeling. I remember being surrounded. And, you know, like those things that even if you don't remember the full-on conversation, you remember exactly what it felt like.
The feeling.
Yes. And then I remember just feeling very sad. I think it's one of those Christmases that I spent alone. I remember feeling very sad where it's like you go through this, I call it an orphan hole, where you feel like...
I like that.
Yeah, okay. you feel like this is a really good thing I remember. And now I know it's never going to be there ever again. I just know like that particular moment, those very vivid memories, you can't recreate those. Even with new people, as much as you love them and they love you, that does not exist. Yeah. Yeah.
I love the people who your chosen family and leaning in, because I do have a friend who keeps, I don't know what spiral I had recently, and she just like sent me a message like, you're never alone, like you're not alone. And last Christmas day I spent with her and her sister, and I've had people kind of like invite me into their space with their family for Christmas, and it's always just so, like I go home and I'm just like, that was nice. Like, that was so warm. I really enjoyed that. And I got a bit of what I used to get with my mom. And it's just like, oh, that felt really nice. Yeah. So to the person who is watching, who maybe their thing looks different from, you know, being an orphan or being adopted, but it still makes them feel alone. It still makes them feel different. It still makes them feel ashamed. Right? What would you want to leave them with?
This is a very difficult question because I did not have the privilege of doing most of the work that I did on myself with a therapist or like someone to walk through life with me. I was like, I need to sort out this thing before it railroads my entire life. And the thing that I'd say is, be very forgiving to yourself. Be very gracious. Give yourself as much grace as possible. Feel all your feelings. Do not invalidate yourself. If you're feeling ashamed, it has to be coming from somewhere. And maybe sometimes you don't know what it is. Like you can't flip a page and you're like, oh, chapter 3, this is why I'm feeling this way. It's mostly because sometimes the thing you're trying to identify is maybe deep-seated, or it's just something that you've carried with you for a long time that you don't even think about. It just lives in your subconscious. So I don't have the exact thing that will help you feel better. I really wish I could. I would sell those things on Amazon and get so much money. But at the same time, I just want a lot of people to know the journey is yours, so you navigate it as best as you can. If you were able to get through the week or the day or the couple of hours where you were anxious and lost and completely overwhelmed, and you got through that somehow, try and journal as much as possible. Like, if I write a lot, I love writing because I feel like it gives me a way to navigate the feelings I have. So even like, if you can't write, you can do like the audio file where you just say, this is what I'm feeling right now. Like, it's almost like you're having a conversation with yourself. Don't be afraid to look like you're crazy.
We all have a bit of that.
That's a good thing. I talk to myself all the time because that's how I'm working out my emotions. I don't want it to spill over to someone else when it's unnecessary. I want to be able to navigate it for myself first, so that when I'm either having that conversation or like want to talk about it, I know exactly what I want to say. So if you're going through all these difficult moments, I think give yourself as much grace as you can. Be kind to yourself, because a lot of us love to beat ourselves down. We keep thinking, oh, if someone else is out there and they have this perfect understanding of life, then I should do. No, maybe that person is having just as horrible a day as you are. So it's like a day at a time. Be as kind as you can. Be great. Give yourself as much grace as you can, but also feel all your feelings. Be mad, be happy. And also, I think I'm also speaking from a place of privilege, because as much as my life looks a certain way story-wise, I've also been surrounded with people who want the best for me. I know that's not a thing that exists for a lot of people. So I am very grateful that I do have that, and I wish everyone would get that lucky. But if you have people in your life who can show up for you in that way, bro, hold on to them like this. because like they could be not just a lifeline, but a reminder that your life, it's ebbs and flows. It's not like it's gonna change for the better. I don't think that's entirely true.
There's seasons, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you navigate each season with the people who want the best of your life and walk with you through those moments. And then just as much as you can, you try and like replicate a system that works personally for you. It's custom made. I really wish you could buy an outfit and wear it to navigate grief and shame, but you can't. You have to get in that workshop and like chisel at things you don't want and like rebuild the person you want to become or the person you're working towards, because it's a never-ending process.
Yeah. This is so incredible, and just hearing you reminded me of how I used to tell my therapist when I'm in a rage and I'm crying, I'm just like, nobody's there for me. And she constantly used to say, name the person who's not there for you, because there are people who are there for you and you're erasing them.
Yes.
So like name. Because sometimes, and again, yes, it speaks to privilege, but sometimes we say we're so alone.
Yes.
Because we're focusing on this one person who's not there.
Yes. Who is that who's not there?
Three who are there, like, hey man, like
we're right here. Yeah.
But the work that you've done is just on yourself is so incredible. And I'm so thankful that you could share it with us, and you constantly are sharing it with us. And I think you're just doing an incredible job, Justine. Incredible job. So thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable and open with us. There's a lot that I've learned, and I'm pretty sure everybody watching has learned from this. As we wrap up, I do want to say a big thank you to our furniture partners who helped us dress up this wonderful set. These are my two favorite things.
It's very beautiful. It's very, very lovely. Yeah.
And it is Baskets Kenya. They are incredible. Yes, their name says baskets, but trust me, there's a lot more in their store that could brighten up your home, your room, your office, could make a great gift for someone. So if you check out the description, you will find a link to their pages where you can just like browse through and see what you can pick up for yourself or for someone that you love. But speaking of love, people, if you resonated with this episode, share it with your loved ones, share it with the mannerless women in your life, and do not forget to also check out the links to all of the work that Justine is doing in the description. Support her, get more inspiration from her there, and whilst you're there, subscribe as well so that you do not miss out on the next episode.